Good morning, students. In this video lecture, we are going to start with vegetative propagation. It's another way of asexual reproduction in plants. Vegetative propagation means where the plant parts such as root, stem, and leaves are involved and help in reproduction. That means here again no gamete formation. That is why it's one of the way of asexual reproduction. Vegetative parts means here we will be talking about stem, root, and leaf. Now stem. We learned in class 11 about runner and offset stolon. These are again here. So runner and offset, these are helping in vegetative propagation. As you see in the diagram, that this is a runner that which is seen in a grass, cynodon or dhoot grass, where this is adventitious root and this is a shoot. Few of the branches go and run after the go and run parallel to the soil, and at the end or where is the at the point where it touches the soil, where from the new adventitious root grow and it turns into a new plant. In case of offset also, you can see this grows in a water. Fine, you can have seen eichhornia. The roots are growing under the water. This is stem and these are the leafy shoot. Few of the stems again run parallel to the surface, and at, at certain point again the roots grow, and from that point again the new plant arise. So there is a difference, runner and offset, there is the same concept between these two, but there is a minute difference between this. In between, like when the shoot runs parallel to the soil, parallel to the soil, there are multiple nodes are present in between from one to another branch. But in case of offset, from one branch to the another branch, there is only one node distance. That means one internode distance is there. Now, these are helping in actually when you cut down this part of plant, of a grass or of a offset, that is eichhornia, this will grow into a new plant. Now, regarding the offset, it is called as a terror of Bengal for your objective question I have given. Why it is called terror of Bengal? Because it has been brought, it's an exotic plant, it has brought from some other country to Bengal. But after it is introduced into Bengal, it becomes terror for the other plants. Wherever it grows, it covers the surface very fast. That means it grows very fast, and at the same time it takes up all nutrient and oxygen for which other plants are to be suffered. That is why we call it as terror of Bengal. Next is tuber. It's again a modification of the stem. In case of a tuber, what we are seeing that these are the eye of a potato, which is actually the node from where the adventitious bud grow, and that adventitious bud grow into a new plant. So that also help in pollination as well as in reproduction. In case of rhizome in ginger, these are again the bud structure which grows into a new plant. This is the scaly leaves which we need to remove. Nodes, internodes, all are marked. So here, how rhizome helps in reproduction. That the axillary bud grow into branches, and each branch grows into a new plant. So these are the modification of stem which help in reproduction, and definitely it's a vegetative reproduction. Next, vegetative reproduction occurs with the help of a root. Roots have got radical buds like sweet potato. Then is sesame, where we have seen these are the radical buds grow on the main root, and this again grows into a new plant. So this is like the modification of root which help in propagation. Next to the leaf, Bryophyllum biglonia, these leaves have buds on their margins. When this main leaf dies off, then this from this notches, these buds fall off onto the soil and grow into a new individual. In this way, root, stem, and leaf are helping in reproduction. Next method is artificial. So those methods which I just discussed, those are the natural method of propagation. These are the artificial method of propagation. Now, what are the natural artificial method of propagation? That means it is done with the help of human being, like those horticulturists and the farmers. Like one is given cutting, next layering, grafting, and tissue culture. Now, what is this method of cutting? This is seen in the plant of rose and sugarcane. But one thing we should have to keep in our mind that whatever the process we are going to follow, all these parts should have got buds. If buds are not present, they will not grow into a new plant. So this is a cut portion or the cut part of a stem, like take example of a rose or sugar cane. Now, when we cut a stem, we have to keep it in mind, we have to keep it in our mind that cut should be obliquely, cut should be done obliquely. And we will keep this cut stem in a phytohormone like auxin, which help in root elongation. After the root has been developed, that will keep it in a soil for further growth. So this is the process of cutting. So we have to choose a stem and we have to plant it in a soil, but we have to keep in our mind that part should have got bud which is going to be grow into a new plant. Next is a layering. Layering is of two kinds, ground layering and air layering. What is done, where we follow ground layering? This is the main stem, and one stem which is quite flexible, we need to just pull it out to the soil. The point of the stem where it touches the soil, therefrom adventitious root grow. After it grows into a new plant, we just simply cut it down, or we just detach it from the parent plant, it grow into a new individual. As it is done on the soil, we call it as a ground layering. Next is called as a air layering. Now this is air layering, ground layering is followed where the stem is flexible. But where the stem is not flexible, we have to follow the process of air layering, where the outer part of the stem is to be removed. That means the dead tissue has to be removed and the living tissue are left behind, and that is to be covered with water, proper nutrient, as well as mosses are to be kept, or the mosses is to be used to wrap around. Why mosses is to be used? Because it is a plant which absorbs moisture, so that this plant always in a moist condition and helps in the growth of adventitious root. And that as the plant is not like the stem of a plant is above the ground, that is why we call it as a air layering. Third is grafting. Grafting means what? Grafting is not a process of vegetative propagation. Actually, where the two characters are combined from two different plants, that is why we, we follow the process of grafting. In this process of grafting, one plant has to be chosen which has efficient root system. The plant which is having an efficient root system, we call it as a stalk, and the part which is grafted or the shoot which is grafted, we call it as a scion. Now, this is, like this is given as a tongue grafting. This diagram is a tongue grafting. We have to keep it in our mind that both the diameter of a stalk and scion are to be of equal diameter. If they are not in equal diameter, then we can follow this way also. That means if the diameter is much more, the stalk diameter is much more than the scion diameter, then we either go for the wedge grafting or either go for the ground grafting. Last but not the least of this chapter, this topic is the tissue culture. Tissue culture means what? When the one tissue or a cell is scrapped out from the leaf, root or a stem, that is grown into artificial nutrient medium, and that helps in the formation of callus. Callus is a mass of undifferentiated cell, and then we will add nutrient and phytohormone which initiate the growth of root, stem and leaf, and it turns into a plantlet. Then those plantlets are sent for commercialization. So we have discussed about a sexual method of reproduction. Next class we'll discuss with sexual reproduction with terms which we are going to use in next two chapters, that is sexual reproduction in plants as well as in human reproduction. Thank you.